Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you pretty late tonight for this review, and hopefully you enjoyed this review at midnight tonight for the Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco record. I Said I Loved You First, or I Said I Love You First, I believe is what the album's name is. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the 35-minute record, which is a 14-track record of this collaboration album with both her and her fiance, Benny Blanco. And let you know my thoughts on the Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco record, I Said I Love You First. So let's dive into this album review. Now, as a collab album, this isn't a bad record, to be honest. We're going to start it off with the opening track, I Said I Love You First, which is a pretty good song for only 44 seconds of an interlude. It's an intro track to introduce the record. It's just basically Selena Gomez talking about how much she appreciates everyone that has supported her and given her love and all that. So it's really nice and meaningful track for 44 seconds, a meaningful intro to the record. So I'd give this a 4.75 out of 5. Younger and Hotter Than Me is a pretty good song in its own way. I'd give this a 4.75 out of 5. Some of the melodic moments sound pretty nice in this, and execution-wise, this track pulled it off for what it was going for, with the production and mixing from Benny Blanco. But overall, pretty good song for how it sounds. 4.75 out of 5. Call Me When You Break Up, featuring Gracie Abrams. Abrams, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. But other than that, it's a pretty good song in its own way. It sounds nice for the most part. There's a few critiques I have with the song, but nothing to the extent where I hate this track. So Gracie Abrams sounded pretty good with how she was singing. It almost sounded like a little bit of Olivia Rodrigo for a second, but no, it really wasn't. It just the kind of vocal style kind of sounded like it. But execution-wise, this track pulled it off for what it was going for, and Selena Gomez and Gracie Abrams sounded good vocally in this track, and the mixing was pretty strong. 4.75 out of 5. Ojos Tristes is a pretty good song in its own way. She mostly sings the Spanish word in Ojos Tristes in the chorus of the song. So it sounds nice for the most part, but she sings English wording for the verses, but Spanish singing in the chorus overall. So sounds nice for how Selena Gomez is singing it. So 4.75 out of 5. Don't Wanna Cry is a pretty good song for how it sounds. It sounds like a really nice melodic disco beat that I could really get on board with. I could really feel for the production of this track, and Selena Gomez sounded really nice vocally in this song, and Benny Blanco's mixing and production as a DJ in this track did pretty well. So really dug this track. 4.75 out of 5. Then we get to Sunset Boulevard. This one is a little bit of a letdown. I don't hate this track 100%, but I don't like it because of the big heart thing that how Selena Gomez comes out and sings it. It just kind of sounds way too cringy and on the fence with me with how it's sounding production wise. It just overutilizes itself when it comes into play, this track. So it's not terrible when the chorus kicks off, but it's just the pre-chorus is the cringy part. So that's what I didn't like about the track. The big heart part. It just ruined the track for me. And I know this was a single, but I wasn't really impressed with this single. 2.75 out of 5. Cowboy is a good song for how it sounds. I really like the production in this track for the most part. Sorry, that's my phone going off for a second. So basically, Cowboy has some sexualized lyrics, but overall, with the execution, it didn't do too bad for how it was. Um, so, and then there's this girl, this black girl with the. Not trying to sound racist or anything. I'm just pointing out that there's a black woman talking in the at the end of the track and saying motherfucking this, motherfucking that kind of shit. So it's like, okay, I think I know where this song's gonna go for the next track. And 4.5 out of 5 for Cowboy. It's a nice song. It is a little sexualized a bit with the lyrics, but sounds nice for the most part. Blue is Flame. Um, this track actually has great production in it. I love this track actually. I don't necessarily think it's one of the best songs because I think the production kind of take over excessively. It like basically it gets a little excessive with the production, a little too much, and I think it plays it strong. But there's a few critiques I have with the track. Like some of the ending to the track is kind of like a little weird and wonky. But overall, I'd give this a 4.75 out of 5. It's a pretty good song. It sounds nice for the most part, and nice disco beat. It sounds like a Charlie XCX song that I could really get on board with, but I know it's not Charlie XCX, even though I do like some of her music. I think the last record was a little on the nose, meaning on the cringe side of things, but it was meh. So this one is a 4.75 out of 5 for Bluest Flame. How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten? It's a nice track overall. Really like Selena Gomez's vocals and the acoustic guitar work in this track. Did play it pretty strong for the most part, so I'd give this a 4.75 out of 5. Benny Blanco's production in this track sounds nice, and it made it work for this track overall, so good song. Do You Want to Be Perfect is only a 37-second interlude, so you're not in for much of a track, and it's not a bad way to keep the record going. So, for 37 seconds, it's a good 4.75 out of 5. You Said You Were Sorry is a pretty good song, too. Really enjoyed this track. I'd give this a 4.75 out of 5 for this one. It's one of the highlights on the record. A nice vocal performance from Selena Gomez, and just the production in it plays it strong and safe. Then we get to I Can't Get Enough featuring J Balvin and Taney. And pretty much the production in this is pretty good, and the mixing. And overall, I think Selena Gomez and J Balvin sounded really good singing in this track overall, so give this a 4.75 out of 5. Don't take it personally. Is a nice track to get to closer to the end of the album. This is the second to last song before you get to the outro to the record, but it's a pretty good one for 2 minutes and 34 seconds. So pretty much most of these tracks are very short, but they're not terrible, except for Sunset Boulevard. But overall, 4.75 out of 5 for Don't Take It Personally. Then we get to Scared of Loving You. I think this track did good for what it was going for. It's a pretty good song to end the record, and it's a nice way to end this album, and a nice way to close out an album. So 4.75 out of 5. You're not in for much of a track. It's only a minute and 50 seconds. It's not a bad way to end the record, in my opinion. So, yeah, 4.75 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think despite Sunset Boulevard being the least favorite on this record, the very least favorite, being one of the most disappointing tracks on the record, I think this record's not bad for a good 30, almost 35 minutes of a record, you're not in for much of an album. So, you're in for a good listen. I wouldn't say this is a good album, but I would say it's an average record from start to finish. I mean, Blue is Flame is a grower. It's going to take quite a bit of time to grow on me. Sunset Boulevard, I thought I could get used to the track, but there's a part of me that just kind of doesn't really uh, keep me intrigued in the rest of the record. Well, not the rest of the record. I would just say Sunset Boulevard is the weakest. And give me a second, I gotta pause the video. Sorry about that, guys. My mom was calling me for a second, asking me to help her with something. So, pretty much, was what I listened to. If I were to give Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's I Said I Loved You, I Said I Love You First album a score, I'm going to give it an average 7.5 out of 10. It's not a bad record. I think throughout time this could grow on me. It's probably better than the Day to Remember record. Even though Day to Remember's new album's not terrible, it's just not one of the best things I've heard of 2025, but it's an improvement. I can say that. It's an improvement from You're Welcome, a big step up, and in a better way. But I wouldn't say it's not going to be as good as the new Pop Evil record, this record. The Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco album is an average record. It's probably the second most listenable record of March 21st. But overall, not a terrible listen from start to finish. Except for Sunset Boulevard. That one I can't really like. I don't know why, but I just don't like the big heart part of the song. It really ruins the song quite a bit of times as I listen through it. It's just like, I just can't get on board with this one. It's kind of cringy. So, overall, 7.5 out of 10 for Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. I Said I Love You First album. I hope you enjoyed this album review tonight. Thank you guys for watching this review tonight. Have a good night.